All right, Chargers Chiefs tonight, and we get a new Lad McConkey update with his injury. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel is all about the Chargers. And long story how we got there, but gives you an outsider's look into your team. And so here's what's going on. Looked at all the tweets, all the stuff. Adam Schefter says he's a true game time decision. And I found a couple other things, but this one I really like. This is a doctor. Again, who cares, right? On Twitter, who knows who's who. But he looked back at Lad McConkey. He's actually had a bunch of injuries. 2015, 2016, 2018, foot, clavicle, toe, knee, back. And basically he's making the point that this is nothing new for him, which is good and a bad thing, of course, to kind of be dealing with injuries, but he's played through and he doesn't really miss games. That's kind of the thing with him is, man, dealt with a lot of injuries, but doesn't miss games, finds a way to get back on the field. And so this guy, Jesse Morse, MD, blue check mark, I trust you. He said, I'm assuming he's going to be active and I'm going to start him with confidence. So he's got a little stake in it, got a little fantasy. I think he plays as well because, and here's where the good news in this really comes into play. This isn't a long-term thing. If he's being questionable 1 week after it happening, then awesome. No long-term injuries. That's the biggest thing right now. The Lions, it's the first time I'm experiencing as a fan. Lions have injuries after injuries, and they're all IR, just season over, season enders. And it's like, dang, that's because the season is so long. Like you can miss 4 games, miss a month, and you're all good, but not in this situation when they're just out for not in situations where they're just out for long term. Now, another thing, take a look at this because again, we know this is kind of the Chargers' last chance to win the division, and they're fully ready to do it and can do it. Let's take a look at their schedule here. Chargers schedule: Kansas City, Tampa, Denver. So 3 tough games, and then it ends with a couple of who knows what cupcake games that you just, I mean, Las Vegas. See, this is the thing about Vegas this year. Last year, remember, they like fired the coach. It was just like, let's just go out and win games. Now it's like, this is weird. I don't even know. Vegas is thinking, I don't even want to be here anymore. So not worried about those last 2 games, but these 3 games, okay, let's find out. Kansas City, on the other hand, check out what they've got. If they lose this game to the Chargers, 3 out of their next 4 are on the road. Their next 4 games are all AFC opponents. Cleveland just doesn't like them. It's at Cleveland. It's mid-December. Love that. Houston, seeding, like there's a lot going on with Houston and Pittsburgh and Denver. These are all 3 tough, meaningful games late in the season. Christmas Day at Pittsburgh. Like, love it. Netflix. Oh, yeah, that's the Netflix game, right? Just they aren't home free by any stretch of the imagination. And they're 11-1, but they've got a lot of work to do, right? So I love the spot that the Chargers are in, which is kind of crazy because it's like, well, no, the Chiefs are 11-1. No, I know, but you look at this game, it's like, man, what if you can limit Travis Kelce? He was held to 8 receptions for 69 yards in the first 3 weeks of the season, but against the Chargers, 7 catches, 89 yards, and just kind of kept going. However, LA didn't have Derwin James in the first meeting. Okay. That changes so many things, and he's playing at such a high level. So you get Lad McConkey, Derwin James, Junior Colson is even listed as questionable for this game. Okay. The other thing, keys to winning this game is winning the trenches, which is just where we're at now. I think we've all kind of taken it for granted or forgotten that we've transitioned into December like that, right? All of a sudden, oh yeah, we're in December. Meaning it's real. It's kind of like the fourth quarter of an NBA game. The first part of the season, you're just kind of running around. Guys are shooting threes. Just now it's like things get tighter. You got to win in the trenches, and the Chargers are just built for that and ready to do it. Can they get the running game going? They don't have J.K. Dobbins, which hurts because if you don't have J.K. Dobbins, now you're kind of limited in the pass threat of the backfield as well. And it's just going to maybe be harder to get things going, but they got to find a way. Got to find a way to run the football. Another thing is this is a great opportunity for the Chargers to prove that they have grown from that first meeting. which they have. Again, you go back, look at this schedule, and you can kind of go back there. Just if it feels like months ago, it's because it was. So much has happened. That was the game. They go 2-2. Things kind of quiet down. It's bye week. No one's really talking about the Chargers at this point. Then they win at Denver, which is a huge win, come to find out. Lose at Arizona, which, I mean, Arizona's tough. And then rattle off 4 in a row. And this is when everyone started to take notice. That was a huge game at Baltimore. This win at Atlanta when no one was paying attention. Those sneaky good win. So point is, a lot's happened since they played Kansas City back September 29th. Finding out who this team is. What's our identity? Are we going to run the ball? Are we going to use Justin Herbert? Well, we don't want to use him too much. It's not running gun, but we don't want to, is our defense good? I think our defense is really good. We've only allowed 20 points to Pittsburgh through the first month of the season. Like, I think we're good. Are we, so the whole thing was just, what are we? And the Chargers have clearly figured it out, only losing 2 games since the bye. And what a cool opportunity for them to really do something different. Really not different, really do something that Chargers fans have been waiting for. I mean, again, we're Lions fans. We know what it's like to go into Green Bay there, right? A couple years ago, hadn't won there forever. Just like they've been kind of the leaders of the division. You go into their place and win. Sunday night football, everyone's watching. It's like, oh shoot, right? Like if you're a Packers fan or a Chiefs fan, oh shoot, this team we've just kind of beat up on for 3, 4, 5, last 6 years. Crap. They're beating up on us. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, if you're new to the channel, we cover nothing but the LA Chargers and have a lot of fun on this channel doing that because we're Jim Harbaugh fans and we started watching Jim Harbaugh transfer. We saw what he did at Michigan. We're big Michigan fans. So I was like, oh man, Jim Harbaugh comes in, changes the culture immediately. We go from winning like 7 games, barely beating up on, that's when you're beating up on Rutgers and Illinois, but you can't beat anyone good before Jim Harbaugh gets to Michigan. Instantly beating Penn State, Michigan State, but can't beat Ohio State quite yet. But then his last half of his tenure at Michigan is just total domination, and it's just the whole thing is like, dude, crazy. Same thing. Goes to LA, 2 seconds there, and it's like, oh, it's different. This feels different. That we're a team. We're a real team together. So love it. So let me know your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe. Would love that. Going for 10,000 subs here on this channel, and we'll see all of you on the next one.